I have some questions for you. Do you ever feel like you say no too much? Do your children even listen to you when you say no? Are you sometimes afraid to say no to them because they'll have a major meltdown and that is just not your favorite? So I am Kate with Connect Point Moms, and I want to help you create stronger relational connections with the children in your life. So today we're going to talk about 3 things you need to know about saying no to the children in your life. So good morning. I see that Debbie's here and someone else, I'm not sure, but I'm glad you're here today. So number 1 is, rather than saying no to your child, tell them something that they can do instead. So remember, we've talked before about how our children think in pictures. So if you tell them, stop that, no, don't do that, they don't really have a picture of what they can do. So what we want to do instead is give them lots of things that they can do instead. Good morning, my mom is here. So instead of telling them no, we want to let them know what they can do. So here's an exercise that you can do. And I don't mean like physical exercise, but actually writing something. Good morning, Stephanie. Glad you're here. So what you can do is think about all the things that your children do that you wish they didn't. So maybe, I don't know, if you have something, write it in. I'd love to hear what your children do that you wish they wouldn't. See, my kids are perfect, so no, I'm just playing. Although I do think they're pretty perfect. So say, I'll just take a silly example from me now since my boys are older, but say they jump on the couch and you don't want them to be jumping on the couch. Or say they're constantly interrupting you when you're talking. Good morning, Rebecca. Okay, great. Thanks, Stephanie. Stephanie wrote, stop fighting with each other. So if they're always arguing with each other, or I don't know, maybe they're not sharing their toys. So think about all the things that your kids do that you wish they didn't, and write them down on a piece of paper. So take a piece of paper, and on the left side, just list all the things that they do that you wish that they didn't. And then on the other side, so you can do this when you're not in the moment, on the other side of that paper, write what they could do instead. So Stephanie gave the example of they're fighting with each other and she's wanting them to stop that. But instead of saying stop fighting, what could they do instead? Well, you can speak kindly to each other, you can take turns with the toys, or you can play in your separate rooms. Maybe instead of jumping on the couch, you can jump on the floor, or you can jump around outside, especially if you have a trampoline. So make a list of everything that they do that you don't like or you want them to stop doing, and on the other side of the paper, write what they can do instead. So this way, when you're in the moment, and instead of saying, stop fighting, you'll say to them, hey, what you can do is take turns, speak kindly to each other, or play in your separate rooms. So that is number 1 thing that you need to know about telling your children no. Number 2, and this is really important. Are you listening? If you're listening, give me a thumbs up. Okay. Sometimes you need to say no to your children and they need to listen. Whoa, mind-blowing, right? But I think as parents, a lot of times we are afraid of telling them no. So this is simply a safety issue. Of course, you have the worst case scenario of my child's gonna run out in the street and get hit by a car, and of course that would be horrible. Or they're gonna touch a hot stove. Whatever the situation is, there are times where you need to say no and they need to obey you. So, I would use those times few and far between so that they know when you say no, you mean business. And the answer is not just always no. So if you have an example like, Mom, can I have some candy? And you know that dinner is a half hour away and you don't want them to have candy because then they won't eat their dinner, you could do what we learned in number 1, tell them what they can do instead. So you can have candy after dinner. So you're not really telling them no, they just can't do it right now. Or you could say, you could have candy when you eat your dinner. Your dinner's all gone. So that's something you could do. Or you could just say no. Can I have candy, Mom? No, you can't. Dinner's coming up. You don't even need to give an a reason, but of course it does help build relationships, but no, the answer is no. So, sometimes we struggle with that because it's like, but they're not going to be able to handle that. They're going to have a major meltdown, and then it's going to be a big fight, and it's just easier if I give them the candy. And you're right. In the moment, it would be easier. But we aren't just raising our children, we're actually raising adults, right? I mean, we want to prepare them for the world, and they're going to hear no a lot. So, good morning, Kristen. I'm glad you're here today. Sorry about your snow day. So our children are going to hear no a lot because we hear no a lot, and we need to be able to handle that and help them learn how to handle it. So the number one thing you need to know about telling your child no is tell them what to do instead. Number two, sometimes you need to say no, and they need to be able to be okay with it. So, which brings us to number three. The number three thing that you need to know about saying no to your child is how to help them manage their emotions. And so often we are afraid to say no because we don't want this major meltdown. And I understand that, and sometimes it's appropriate. You know, you're in the middle of wherever, family reunion, and you don't want to handle that right now. But as a rule and as a general routine in your home, if a child is upset, we need to help them deal with those feelings instead of trying to stop those feelings. So think about, I'll give you a challenge. Here's a challenge. Over the next couple days, notice when your child is feeling upset about something. Is it that they want a toy that they can't have because their brother has it? Is it that they want to stay in an area but it's time to leave or time to clean up? So think about something that's happening that they're feeling upset about. Okay, so you can maybe get it in your head now or just think about it over the next couple days. And then what I want you to do is think about how you feel about that. Because really, it all starts with us. So inside of you, are you feeling like, oh my goodness, I don't want my child to be sad. I want to save them from this sad feeling. Good morning. I want to save them from this sad feeling, so I have to do everything I can to stop them from feeling so sad. So just notice that. Or do you feel like, really, there is no reason for you to be crying over this. Just get your stuff and let's get out the door, right? So usually it's one or the other, right? You're feeling like either you want to save them from that sad feeling or you want to stop it. Hey, stop having that feeling, just knock it off. So now I want you to think about how would you feel if something sad happened in your life, maybe something huge like the loss of a loved one or the breakup of a relationship or the loss of a job, or maybe something sad like I gained 5 pounds this week. You know, I mean, that's still upsetting to you. How would you want your closest friend to handle that? Would you want them to say, oh gosh, it's no big deal, Kate, 5 pounds, so what? You know, you're almost 45 years old, put on a couple more, enjoy life. Would you want them to say, oh goodness, you're feeling sad about that? Well, let's go to the park, let's go get a drink, let's go, here, you want to watch a movie with me? Let's go out, let's go shopping. So you might notice some of those things that you do with loved ones in your life, right? You try to avoid the pain by giving them something else like candy or cookies or shopping or drinking. Or you might say, it's really no big deal. It's no big deal. So you're kind of minimizing the feelings. So if this is you and you're feeling sad and your closest friend is doing either of those two things, how do you feel about it? So I want you to keep that in mind because we often do that to our kids. My job is what is my job? Oh, I'm the director of early childhood ministries at Grace Point Church. So I see a lot of children every Sunday coming and getting dropped off at childcare at our early education discipleship program. So sometimes we take the kids and they start to cry, and a lot of us go, oh, you're okay, mommy will be back, you're okay. But really they're just wanting some empathy. So this is where it gets hard for us because it's uncomfortable. So if you take the example of an adult and your best friend is having a hard time, instead of trying to fix it, oh, hey, do you want to go do this? Do you want to go do that? Or instead of trying to minimize it, oh, that's no big deal, right? Instead of that, just, this really sucks. What you hear me say if you work with me in early childhood, I say, this is hard. You wish mommy and daddy didn't have to leave, and they do, and that's hard. And I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just trying to be present with them, which is something we talk about a lot, that you need to be present in the moment. So, oh, that's cute. Stephanie's mom's here, and so is my mom. Oh, that's awesome. So anyhow, helping your loved one, whether it's your child or your very best friend or your significant other, by being in the moment with them when they're feeling sad, is really one of the best things you can do. The gift of your presence is the best thing we can do, and for our kids. But it starts with us. So remember that if you start to feel anxious when your child is upset and you want to fix it or you want to minimize it, that's really about what's happening with you. So just being aware of that, hopefully can help you out there. And I think that's it. I'm on my phone, so I have no idea how long this has gone, but I'm going to wrap up by just saying the 3 things that you need to know about saying no to your child. Number 1 is try to tell them what they can do instead of saying no. So instead of no, you say, come walk over here. Instead of get down, I was just going to say it right, but instead of telling them stop jumping on the couch, you say stand on the floor over here or jump over there. That's number 1. Number 2 is sometimes you need to say no, and they need to be okay with that, and we have to teach them that. And number 3 is being aware of your own feelings and helping you and your child manage those feelings. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining us. My website is connectpointmoms.com. I have free help for moms. I have videos. I just started a blog, really super new for me. And actually the one I wrote about there is about this same topic. So if you don't want to listen to the video and read the blog, let me know what you think. Next week is live question and answers. So come with your questions. Really, I get these live ideas from you. So last week was something someone had texted me about. This week was something someone had texted me about. So you can either text me or message me or post it on the Connect Point Moms group on Facebook, or just join us live and ask the questions and make me get on my feet about answering you right then. So I hope to see you next week at 8 a.m. for live Q&A. All right, you guys, have a great day. I'm looking forward to connecting with you again soon. Bye-bye.